Fame is fleeting, legends evolve, and some simply disappear. The Weeknd was never meant to last forever. Why is he erasing himself? And what remains when the Weeknd is no more?
Music is officially dead.
Before the sold-out stadiums, before the Grammys, before the Super Bowl, there was Abel, a quiet kid growing up in Scarborough, Toronto, raised by his mother and grandmother after his father walked out when he was just a child. His home was filled with Ethiopian culture. But outside those doors, it was a different world. By 11, Abel was already experimenting with drugs, weed, psychedelics, anything to escape.
And I used to go on stage drunk.
School didn't feel right. By 17, he made a choice that would change everything. He dropped out and never looked back. He and a few friends took a leap of faith, moving into a small apartment in the city, surviving on stolen food and whatever money they could scrape together. One weekend, he packed his things, left home, and never returned.
I grew up in Scarborough. I dropped out of high school. Me and my friends, we just left home, man. We just started living the downtown life. I knew that I really wanted to be something. I just didn't know really what.
And just like that, the Weeknd was born. He found solace in music, crafting haunting melodies and raw lyrics that captured the loneliness and rebellion of his reality.
You're singing to people, you know? It's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
You're not normal if you sing to people.
Broke, reckless, and living in a rundown house that reeked of weed and regret, Abel spent his days partying and his nights making music. That house became infamous. It was called the House of Balloons. The wild lifestyle fueled his music, and in 2010, with zero promotion, no face, no name, just a vibe, The Weeknd dropped 3 songs on YouTube, and guess what? People lost their minds. His shadowy presence and the hypnotic nature of his songs left fans scrambling for answers. Who was this guy? A band? A producer? A ghost? The anonymity only made the buzz grow louder.
Was it deliberate? I mean, yeah, to an extent. I think we went on for about almost a year with no pictures. Everyone's like, yo, who is this guy? Who's The Weeknd? How does he look?
He followed up with the release of 3 groundbreaking mixtapes, House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence, that introduced a new kind of R&B, dark, moody, and immersive. And then came Drake, the biggest name out of Toronto at the time, personally reached out. The Weeknd ended up giving Drake half of his album, crafting the sound of Take Care, an album that would define a generation. But while everyone assumed he'd signed to OVO, Abel had bigger plans. Instead of being in Drake's shadow, he took a gamble. He went solo, and it paid off.
With Abel, he just really came to me at one point, came to all of us and was like, look, I don't want to sign under another artist because I feel like I could be just as big or bigger, and I want to start my own thing. And it was never to this day, I'm always excited.
Then, in 2015, Abel leveled up. Beauty Behind the Madness took him from underground king to global superstar. The Hills and Can't Feel My Face dominated the charts. He was everywhere. He won multiple awards and performed at the biggest music festivals in the world.
The Weeknd!
His success culminated in the release of Starboy in 2016. But Starboy wasn't just an album, it was a rebrand. The hair, gone, the sound, evolved.
The big question, did you keep the hair? Did you keep it?
Yeah.
Did you keep it?
Yeah, I did keep it.
You did keep it?
Yeah.
The Weeknd wasn't just a singer anymore. He was a pop icon, but fame comes at a price. In 2018, he dropped My Dear Melancholy, a 6-track breakup letter soaked in regret. The highs of Starboy had faded. The heartbreak, the pain, the toxicity, it was all there.
I love you too, baby. Thank you.
And then came After Hours in 2020. The red suit, the bruised face, the twisted Vegas nightmare. Blinding Lights became the biggest song of the decade, breaking records left and right. And for the first time, The Weeknd wasn't just performing, he was telling a story.
The after hours are done and the dawn is coming.
Fast forward to 2023, and something was shifting. Abel started hinting that The Weeknd, his larger-than-life alter ego, was on his last days.
So tatted all over her body, oh. She just wanna roll and I don't mind it.
The release of Dawn FM painted a picture of an artist confronting his own mortality, trapped in a purgatory of fame, excess, and regret. The glossy, synth-heavy sound felt like the final ride of a character he had been playing for over a decade. Then came the biggest revelation. The Weeknd was fading out. He was ready to retire the persona that had defined his career. The Idol, a controversial series that blurred the lines between fiction and reality, leaving fans questioning Abel's creative choices. But his final cinematic statement as The Weeknd was Harry Up Tomorrow, the movie, a surreal farewell that reinforced the death of the persona. Soon after, he released HBO's Harry Up Tomorrow, the movie soundtrack, his last album under the Weeknd name. This was the closing act, the last chapter, the final nail in the Weeknd's coffin. No more red suits, no more late-night anthems of self-destruction. The Weeknd, the character, had served his purpose. His upcoming music promises something new, something raw, unfiltered. For the first time, he's stepping into the spotlight as himself.
What would you tell your 17-year-old self who left home, moved into a small apartment with a friend, eventually that young Abel was gonna become the Super Bowl halftime star. You accomplished so much. What would you tell that kid?
Don't quit.
Leaving behind the mystery, the heartbreak-fueled benders, and the hedonistic anthems that made him famous. From a nameless mystery on YouTube to headlining the biggest stage in the world, The Weeknd redefined what it means to be an artist. Every album, every era, every transformation, a new chapter in a story still being written. And if history has taught us anything, this is only the beginning. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm just starting out, and your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to subscribe and check out this next video. I think you'll really like it. Thank you, and see you next time.